Alright, ready? Okay, now dialogue.
That thing was not one of the colonists. No amount of infection could have done that.
We're leaving the hall.
No hitting the colonists, even if the Thorian makes them fire on us. That's what the gas grenades are for.
As you would have it, Commander Shepard.
One place where it does belong, but it should belong, because I require water in order to record. So you need a lot of water. People will drink soda. I'm questioning the mentality if they drink soda when they're planning to go game, because soda's not as healthy as water is, which is pretty obvious why. I'm not even have to state why it's healthy. But some players will drink only soda. I won't. In fact, actually, I rarely drink soda, and a lot of people think that I'm lying when I do that, and I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't drink it very often. Alright. These guys, this isn't so small. It's those guys up there that will be alive. Also, there are some small residents kind of a non
Get down! Incoming!
I don't even know how that works. I'm not going to even question it. I'm sorry, but that doesn't even relevant to how that works. I don't know. Wow. Alright, well.
Incoming!
Honestly, oh, is it 18? I can't remember now. That's really messing with me. I can't remember how many it was. Okay. I gotta do this. Okay, what? What timestamp are we at? I don't know. Let's just go forward. It's bugging me already trying to figure this out. I have one grenade left. Okay, and I have 16 alive. But am I certain? I hope so. Now it's all reflected by Dan. Do I kill Playdown? No. Do I want to? No. Because
I tried to fight it, but it gets in your head. You can't imagine the pain.
so that relates to the question: how do you
You're
know?
supposed to be their
that
leader.
These
people trusted me.
How do you know when they're going to be
It wants me to stop you, but I won't.
But when they redeem
I
themselves,
won't!
the question determines whether or not if you want to actually accept a redeeming feature based upon how sincere they are of the redeeming feature. Meaning, the more positive they are, the more likelihood they should live. The more negative they are about the redeeming feature, and the more they actually act upon, say, going back to their negative offense, that's what you should determine whether or not you're really going to work with the redeeming feature. So, put in a perspective, somebody came up to you after they killed 13 people and they wanted to save somebody's life. What kind of redeeming feature is? I mean, if they're willing to save that person, I'll let them give it a shot. If they're not willing to do it, then yeah, we'll they'll discuss that kind of thing. So, honestly, in that statement of understanding, it doesn't matter what you might think. It's about what their redeeming feature is, what their quality of redeeming factor is. So, for example, if I'm willing to die for somebody else, that's a good thing, right? That's what we all think. But here's the thing is, it doesn't matter if I die for somebody else, if I'm willing to make it work.
Alright, we just need to find this creature and determine what it... Kira, what is that?
That does not look like any plant I've ever seen. This may be problematic.
Invaders, your every step is a transgression. 1,000 feelers appraise you as meat, good only to dig or decompose. I speak for the old growth as I did for Saren. You are within and before the Thorian. It commands that you be in awe.
You gave something to Saren. Something I need.
Saren sought knowledge of those who are gone. The old growth listened to flesh for the first time in the long cycle. Trades were made. Then cold ones began killing the flesh that would tend the next cycle. Flesh fairly given. The old growth sees the air you push as lies. It will listen no more.
So, before I continue, the reason why that Thorin has a telepathic control over other people, like he's controlling the colony. Now, why is it that Saren does not have the same effect as in, even if you would say, oh, he has not spent that much time around the Thorian, it's because Saren is already under a telepathic influence already from Sovereign himself. Sovereign sends out a signal, and that messes with the brainwave frequencies based upon the game's actual information. It's not fantasy that's actually in the game. That frequency that's sent out from that signal actually messes with the brainwaves actual thoughts and allows you to interpret some certain thoughts as not your own, but you accept them as your own. So therefore, you don't know what's which, and then you become mentally insane and psycho, and then that's when you become a husk. Basically, Sovereign is transforming all of his followers into that. Basically, that's what it does. That's because the Sovereign is an entity. We'll explain throughout the story what's going on. It's called indoctrination.
I won't let you keep your thralls. Release them, now!
No more will the Thorian listen to those that scurry. Your lives are short, but have gone on too long. Your blood will feed the ground and the new growth.
Well, that was pretty cool. I've never actually had that happen. Oh, it wasted it. That's...
Over here, Commander. Something different in this area.
One down. 4 more to go.
That hurt it. I can tell. A few more of those and it's in trouble. No matter what playthrough you're on, that aside, even though she's I don't know how it's possible, but the plant-based response can do the same thing as a normal person, and this is how it's the plant is actually producing weapons. I don't know how that happened. I don't even know how to begin to explain how that's working at all. Actually, I believe there is a gun that does more damage for the shotgun. I think it is exactly the Russian one because none of the other ones perform better damage. So, yeah. I'm leaving this one because of this, right here. So that later on, when I go through the game, I'll have that as a cool, overall feature to look upon when I'm complete with the game. So, yeah. If you didn't know, if you take that down that thing first before you kill any of the guys, all the draw in the room will die first. Also, FYI, the thing that's moving the most is actually the clone, not the door and stages. You can see her moving the most on the main map. Also, another FYI, she gets one of her biologic abilities to upgrade or next to the road. She kills it more. I had to learn that the hard way when I first played this. 26 minutes anyway. If this thing will die. Let's finish it. Back into it. How freaking irritating is that? There's an onboard right there. Yeah, just kills most of them. Technically, they have to be awake before it actually kills them permanently. Yeah. Don't let them water help out. Like buy that. They are taking forever to kill. Alright. I think we have one last arm to destroy, if I'm not mistaken. Stay back, there's 2 arms I have to destroy left. I already took care of that one, I think it was. sure let it go, but we sure beat this. That was fast and perfect for the flip. This is where it's supposed to go next.
Commander Shepard, we're on the right track.
See, technically she comes out of the top layer. Forever, because I don't even know where the top line is supposed to be. Never had this much health. Take it down. Interesting how this works. Oh, I did it. Wow. I didn't even have to go to the floor. I just killed it. I cheated.
I'm free. I suppose I should thank you for releasing me.
Is everything all right? Are you hurt?
I am fine, or I will be, in time. My name is Shiala. I served Matriarch Benezia. When she allied herself with Saren, so did I. Benezia foresaw the influence Saren would have. She joined him to guide him down a gentler path. But Saren is compelling. Benezia lost her way.
Are you saying Saren can control minds?
Benezia underestimated Saren, as I did. We came to believe in his cause and his goals. The strength of his influence is troubling.
She tried to manipulate Saren, but in the end, her plan backfired.
Asari matriarchs are among the most intelligent and powerful beings in the galaxy. How could one fall under Saren's control?
Saren has a vessel, an enormous warship unlike anything I've ever seen. He calls it Sovereign. It can dominate the minds of his followers.
See?
They become indoctrinated to Saren's will. The process is subtle. It can take days, weeks, but in the end, it is absolute. I was a willing slave when Saren brought me to this world. He needed my biotics to communicate with the Thorian, to learn its secrets. Saren offered me in trade. I was sacrificed to secure an alliance between Saren and the Thorian.
See?
Saren's pretty quick to betray his own people.
He was quick to betray the Thorian, too. After he had what he wanted, he ordered the Geth to destroy all evidence of its existence. Saren knows you are searching for the conduit. He knows you are following his steps. He attacked the Thorian so you could not gain the cipher.
What's the cipher? And why did Saren need it?
The beacon on Eden Prime gave you visions. But the visions are unclear, confusing. They were meant for a Prothean mind. To truly comprehend them, you must think like a Prothean. You must understand their culture, their history, their very existence. The Thorian was here long before the Protheans built this city. It watched and studied them. When they died, it consumed them. They became a part of it.
So the Thorian taught Saren to think like a Prothean. How?
The cipher is the very essence of being a Prothean. It cannot be described or explained. It would be like describing color to a creature without eyes. To understand, you must have access to endemic ancestral memory. A viewpoint spanning thousands of Prothean generations. I sensed this ancestral memory, the cipher, when I melded with the Thorian. Our identities merged, our minds intertwined. Such knowledge cannot be taught. It simply exists.
Alright, so what she's referring to there is something you'll learn in the third game. That Javik explains that the Protheans have the ability to sense things and share information through touch. So basically what he's talking about is he can touch an object and he can sense things about the object that you could not read or understand. He basically, in a sense, he reads the object through this entire way. It sounds like it's telepathic or it's empathic in nature. It's kind of both. It's kind of a blend. So basically what he can do is he can touch a chair and tell you who sat on it first, who sat on it last, what was spilled on it. So for example, if you just had to go to use the bathroom, right, and you're using the toilet, what Javik explains is the ability that he has of sensing. He could tell exactly from the urine that the person or the feces that they basically expelled from her body, he can sense exactly who that person is based upon their species. So in the second game, Grunt is actually awakened from a tank. In the third game, he touches the floor and he says that there was a Krogan released from a tank in here that was fully matured but was tank bred, that is a clone basically. And he guessed all that from touching the floor, even though it's been over a whole year since the tank was removed and since Grunt was completely no longer part of the Normandy's crew. So he's basically explaining how powerful his senses really truly are. And that's what the cipher really is. It's the sensitive ability to interact with a genetic feature that actually allows them to communicate to their beacon system. The beacons are not actually just really beacons. They're more like a computer system, that's like a cell phone that works across the network of hundreds of beacons. So basically that's what that's supposed to be for. It's supposed to only work with their physiology. And that's why Javik is a little irritated, because the technology was not meant for our civilization, it was meant for theirs, and that was the big issue. If it was actually meant for our civilization, or even the Asari, or the Turians, or the Krogans, whatever, we would have been warned properly, but it was not meant for our physiology. That's where the cipher comes in.
I need that knowledge to stop Saren.
There is a way. I can transfer the knowledge from my mind to yours, as I did with Saren. Try to relax, Commander. Slow, deep breaths. Let go of your physical shell. Reach out to grasp the threads that bind us, one to another. Every action sends ripples across the galaxy. Every idea must touch another mind to live. Each emotion must mark another's spirit. We are all connected. Every living being united in a single glorious existence. Open yourself to the universe, Commander. Embrace eternity. I have given you the cipher, just as it was given to Saren. The ancestral memories of the Protheans are part of you now.
What was that? Commander Shepard, are you all right?
So basically what that means is he can't speak the language of the Protheans, but he can decipher it. Like, he can read it as if it's English. You might think, how is that possible? Because now it's embedded into his consciousness, and his DNA is being basically absorbing that information, so it's not part of his genetic strand. So when he meets Javik for the first time, he talks to Javik as if Javik is talking to him in his same language. As Javik's trying to actually speak to him in English, but he doesn't have to, because Commander Shepard can actually listen to his language, and his language is being transversed. Basically, the way the cipher works is, it doesn't matter what language you have, the cipher basically decodes your language. It decodes their sense of abilities all at once. He doesn't understand that because he's not aware of the full potential of what the cipher does, but the cipher allows him to interact as a Prothean does. So basically he's acting as a Prothean, but he doesn't know that that's what's in his DNA now, from his consciousness that's been given to him.
I saw something. It still didn't make any sense.
You have been given a great gift. The experience of an entire people. It will take time for your mind to process this information.
You look a little unsteady, Commander. Perhaps you should return to the Normandy.
I'm sorry if you have suffered, but there was no other way. You needed the cipher.
Actually, it's got a really nice hit.
In time, it will help you understand the vision from the beacon.
Tell me more about this ship Saren has.
Sovereign is alien. I do not know how it was built or where it comes from. Its design does not match that of any known spacefaring species. It dwarfs any vessel in the Citadel or Alliance fleets. Its weapons are devastating, its defenses virtually impenetrable. With it, Saren believes he is unstoppable.
So something to note here is, since Sovereign and all the rest of the Reapers are built millions and millions of years before this situation, and nobody has the records at all that they were built at that time, and yet the fact that they wipe out every single species every 50,000 years, including the Protheans, which were next in the process, it kind of shows to the point that the understanding that when the Asari first rose up to the point where they were at a galactic civilization, they're like, oh cool, we're so special, we're awesome, and then they realized they're not the ones who actually built, like, the mass relays or the Citadel. They assumed that it was the Protheans when they discovered it, but then they realized later it doesn't matter who built them. It's the fact that now they have ideal that, you know, there was a species before them, but this is superior. But anything beyond that, you know, any other species exists doesn't even exist. So it's all mere rumor. So where the Protheans actually had information about species that were hundreds of thousands of years before them, all that data was lost. So the Protheans knew about several species that were galactically wiped out before them. They were all aware about these species, where they were from, what they were, exactly everything about them, and then even though their data was wiped out, at least they kept the memory of it going on. So it's kind of sad to think that when you rise up to the point where you're at a galactic civilization level, where you're like, oh cool, we're special because we made it here first, when you realize, no you didn't. You're just in a long line of retards that are going to have to get wiped out because you haven't made the point where you can defend yourself, which is sad.
You said Saren uses it to manipulate his followers.
The indoctrination. There is an energy about Sovereign. You feel drawn to the ship.
Which is pretty sad.
It makes Saren's arguments more persuasive, more compelling. Spend enough time in Sovereign's presence and you will lose yourself. There's no other way to explain it.
That's kind of sad.
Now that you're free of the Thorian, what are you planning to do next?
If you allow it, I would like to stay here with the colonists. They have suffered greatly, and I played a role in their suffering. I would like to make amends.
I would like to make amends.
The colonists will need all the help they can get. They'll be happy to have you on their side.
Thank you, Commander. May fortune smile upon you.
I can't believe it. Jong says we'll have all the money we need to keep this place running.
It's because of you, Shepard. I can't thank you enough.
Why does that look like Commander Shepard slightly? Like he's
thanks again. That data will be very
partially retarded. That looks like Ethan right there. But that's not it. Not him, not him, not him. Not him, not him, not him. Right here.
All traces of the Thorian will be erased in short order. Feros will have a second chance thanks to you. I think this plan of yours just might work.
I fought so hard, but any thought of my own ships are all...
Thank you so
Alright.
much.
I will do what I can to assist the colony in this difficult time. I am ashamed of the damage done to the lives of these people.
I want to know more about Benezia.
Benezia was greatly respected among our people. A powerful biotic, even for an Asari. She was widely known as a teacher of philosophy and religion. She always sought the paths of peace and harmony. She joined with Saren because she hoped to turn him away from his path of destruction.
Instead, she became one of his most powerful allies.
As I mentioned before, Matriarch Benezia underestimated Saren. Be sure you do not make the same mistake.
What else can you tell me about Saren?
There is little I could tell you that you do not already know. He's powerful, he's charismatic, and he is dangerous. Once I followed him, blind to his true nature. But now I see he's leading the galaxy into an age of darkness and suffering.
I want to know more about you.
There is nothing remarkable about me. I was merely one of Matriarch Benezia's disciples. For nearly 2 centuries, I followed her, learning at her feet. When Benezia revealed her plan to join Saren, she gave her disciples a choice. Only those who were willing had to follow her. Many felt her plan was too dangerous, but I believed in her. I thought she could turn Saren away from his insanity. Instead, we joined him in it.
Is there anything else you can tell me about the Thorian?
When the creature enveloped me, I became part of it, but I still don't truly understand it. So alien, so ancient. Its exact age is impossible to know. It measured time differently. 10,000 years of hibernation broken by a few frantic centuries of activity. Its mind was awesome, magnificent. It transcended all classification. And now it is gone.
Don't tell me you feel sorry for that thing.
The Thorian was a unique life form. A sentient being that lived for 50,000 years, maybe more. There is nothing even remotely like it in the known galaxy. I'm grateful you saved me from a life of thraldom. Yet I cannot help but feel some sorrow for the loss of such a rare and remarkable creature.
Farewell, Shiala.
Farewell, Commander. I wish you well in your hunt.
Okay, something to know about the Thorian. The reason why it's still alive after all the cycles have been happening, even though it's probably several hundred thousand years old, is because the fact that it did not reach a presence to the Reapers of their cycle system, meaning the harvesting, like what they count as good for harvest. And if it doesn't reach their harvest standards, then it will leave it alone. And every so many years, like for example, how the humans started out is during the time the Reapers walked around, according to the game, we were still trying to throw spears on Earth. So we were still alive, we were at that point, but even though the Protheans got wiped out, the Reapers came to Earth and actually checked us out and decided that we were not ready at a technological level of space travel, so therefore they didn't touch us. You have to reach a technological space travel capability, and you have to use the technology of the mass relay and the Citadel in order for them to decide to wipe you out. If you do not meet those categories, your species is basically too dumb in a sense for them to come kill you.
I never thought I would be so thrilled to see a soldier. Forgive my previous inaction, but under the Thorian's influence, every thought was examined and filtered.
What will you do now that the fighting is over?
I may stay, try to recover my losses. I can have new supplies delivered within weeks. Perhaps the colony will survive after all.
Let me see what you have in stock.
Of course. Return in the future, and I may even have more to see.
Crap.
Thank you for everything you did.
Thanks, Commander. It's great to be free again.
I'm gonna call it.
Free. I can't believe I'm free. I'm free.
Thank you for everything you tried to do here.
Okay. Well, I'm done with this planet. Entirely. I won't clip the video just yet.
Finally, that damn thing is out of my head. I can think without pain. And with the power cells you brought, I can get this place up and running again. Thanks, Commander.
It will take time for things to get back to normal.
Thank you.
I don't know how that works, but I'm not gonna even think about it. Time to go listen to Joker's funny little pun, or at least his little bit of a pun it is. And we're gonna also figure out what the hell they're talking about another ship being docked here. Because there's only our ship is being docked. I don't see anything else that refers to our ship. So I'm not sure what they're referring to because this is all our ship. So, interesting. By the way, this is something you can do.
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress.
You can do this, it actually frees you so you can just run around in circles.
Commander, you look pale. Are you suffering any ill effects from the cipher?
The cipher shook me up a bit.
I might be able to help you. I am an expert on the Protheans. If I join my consciousness to yours, maybe we can make some sense of it.
Makes you more of an asshole, even as funny. There are some that are funny, some that are actually makes you more of an asshole. You have to figure out what you're in for. Like, forget it. As an
Do
asshole.
it. Hurry. We don't have much time.
You want badass or you want asshole? Is the kind of
Relax,
thing you pick
Commander.
for a kid.
Embrace eternity. That was incredible. All this time, all my research, yet I never dreamed. I am sorry. The images were so vivid. I never imagined the experience would be so intense. You are remarkably strong-willed, Commander. What you have been through, what you have seen, would have destroyed a lesser mind.
Come on, get to the point. What did you see?
The beacon on Eden Prime must have been badly damaged. Large parts of the vision are missing. The data transferred into the Commander's mind is incomplete.
You sure you didn't come across any kind of clue or hint? Something we might have missed?
Everything I saw, you already know. You were right about the Reapers. The Protheans were destroyed by a race of sentient machines. I think it is obvious there is a connection between the Reapers, the Prothean extinction, and the Conduit, but I did not see anything that would help us find it.
What's our next move?
I was able to interpret the data relayed through your vision, what was there at least, but something was missing. Saren must have the missing information. Maybe he found another beacon. If we can find the missing data from your vision, I can... Oh. I am sorry. The joining is exhausting. I should go to the medical bay and lie down for a moment.
Dr. Chakwas should take a look at you.
That will not be necessary. I just need some rest.
Sometime
Somewhere
after we
quiet.
complete Novaria is when he gets the final
We're
piece of
done here.
information.
Dismissed.
I've sent off the Feros report, Commander. You want me to patch you through to the Council?
Patch him through, Joker.
Setting up the link now, Commander.
Commander, Exogeny should have told us about the Thorian. It would have made your job much easier.
You might have been able to capture it for study instead of destroying it.
Don't be stupid.
The Thorian liked to enslave minds. Anyone who studied it would have ended up as one of its thralls.
Perhaps it's for the best then. At least the colony was saved.
Of course it was saved. Shepard would go to any lengths to help a human colony.
Disconnect, you can actually do that.
Being human had nothing to do with it. They were in trouble.
Admirable. But sometimes Spectres have to make sacrifices. I hope you're willing to do that when the time comes.
Goodbye, Commander.
Legendary Edition,
We will be
if
waiting
you
for your next
disconnect or
report.
not, it's still going to be brought up in the second game as a funny dialogue, even if you did it or not. It's just the way that the game developers decided that it was going to be a thing. So it doesn't matter. He's actually an officer. I'm not sure what his rank is, so let's go see Presley and see what his rank is. Because he's an officer too. He's an officer too, so I can't tell you what officer rank they are because their insignia ranks are not on them. In the third game, their insignia ranks are actually displayed on their armor.
Hey, Commander, next time we touch down, let's try not to park the ship in a colony of mutant zombies. Just thinking out loud here.
See what I'm talking about?
I have to go.
It's a little funny dialogue.
See ya.
He gets one after every single mission in the first game. Only the main missions, which is the 4 or so. And that's it. That's all he gets. But in the second and third game, he gets one every single time you do something, including side missions, because it's just good. Until eventually he starts repeating himself, that's when he no longer has anything good for new stuff to talk about. Alrighty. Let's end the video.